Rutherford Issues with Brian Barrett on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at WGNSradio.com.
All right, Rutherford Issues is presented by Middle Tennessee Electric. If you've recently changed your phone number or email, be sure to update your details at mte.com. The absolute best way to make sure you're reached quickly with important information from the utility, like outage updates, billing cycles, that kind of thing. It's pretty good information you need to know. But if they don't have your phone number or email, they can't contact you. So that's why we're reminding folks about that. Claire Maxwell joins us, the chair of the Rutherford County School Board, and we've been talking over lots of ideas. If we could just say poof and it happens, boy, we'd have things fixed.
Oh, yes, we would.
Yeah, pull that up real close to you there.
Good morning,
Good
sir.
morning. Good to have you. You've had a busy week.
Yeah, just when you think, oh, I have a light week next week, it changes on you like a dime.
What, 2 special called meetings?
Yes, 2 special called, important meetings. We had some issues with a contractor, but we were able to, we worked very tirelessly. I want to thank our transportation department was on it and worked through the weekend and through Monday and Tuesday. And we are taking care of making sure our students can get safely back and forth to school. And it's just, unfortunately, a situation that happened, and we had to make some hard choices. But we're going to be okay. And hang in there with us, families.
So buses, the bus system, it's not the buses say Rutherford County Schools, but they're not owned by
Rutherford County Schools.
Yeah.
These are private contractors, and they have and the big change that happened in I don't think everyone understands it, was that they'd been able to carry insurance through the county. And last year that came down from on high at the state capitol, that no longer could you do that. They had to get their own liability insurance. And I knew that was going to be a struggle for some.
Which was part of the negotiation over the summer that we dealt with, right?
Exactly. That was part of it. And so we finally were able to help them out a little bit of that, because insurance is very, very expensive. And we're able to get $4,000 for each contractor for each bus. So to help them with the insurance, because the insurance is astronomical.
But that was a burden the county had, that then went to the bus drivers.
Because we felt their pain, and we wanted to make sure that we didn't lose any good bus drivers that we need, because we need all of our, it's all hands on deck when school starts. And so we did this, and so it was unfortunate that this situation arose when we thought we had taken care of the insurance this year. And now it's going to be, every year, it's going to be a struggle, because insurance doesn't stay stagnant, unfortunately.
Correct. Is this are those policies a yearly policy or every 6 months, or I guess it depends?
I guess it depends. Like I said, the insurance, Rutherford County is really not in that. Right. We're not privy to that.
So that's all part of what they do.
That comes down between the individual contractor and their insurance agent. So that's part of the problem too.
Yeah.
So we didn't.
Are there any safeguards in place going forward to say?
We're trying to do that. Now the contract has already been signed, but there are things that we want to put in place that I think that the contractors would benefit them as well. So
like you've got to prove you have insurance to the county.
Exactly. And you may have to prove it more than just at the beginning.
Yeah.
You may have to. And these things are, I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of pushback on that. I think that it will only benefit them, because every bus director wants their students, their families to know they are in good standing.
Yeah.
And we need to be able to know that they are in good standing going forward. So.
And this bus driver, or this bus company, I guess.
He was an LLC. He was his own little.
Okay.
Corporation, I guess, is what you would say.
And 40 buses?
Yeah, we didn't know it was that many. And
okay.
Yeah. So we thought it was 20, because we had asked that no more than 10.
I thought we had that limit or something.
Apparently he was grandfathered in because he'd been with us for a certain amount of time.
Okay.
And so there was some sub-leases that happened that we weren't exactly, that we've had to kind of untangle.
So those subleases became part of his corporation, which were insured as part of that corporation. Mm-hmm. And I could see that as being this is a way I can get insurance at a better rate.
Yeah, because young people, it's
umbrella.
hard for young people that are wanting to get into this business to find insurance. And they haven't driven long enough. Their age. So he was.
So a subcontractor could be someone who owns their own bus, but is part of his company, or maybe leasing
or leasing the bus from
leasing. Okay.
Yeah, and so it was quite a.
Yeah, it was a tangled web. So when you say untangling some of that, I noticed like one day, this many buses are coming back online. So were those?
We had 2 that night that we were able to show that they've got insurance, they've got a bus. It's not part of this other contractor. Okay, you're good to go. And then over the weekend we had 4 more that we were able to bring up, and I'm glad. And like I said, I don't want to take anybody's livelihood away. I mean, and they're proud contractors, and these drivers love driving for us and for us, but they're not part of us right now.
Understand.
So as many it can show that they've got insurance and they're driving maybe for somebody else, I'm okay with that. But I need to make sure that going forward, the board is adamant that we do not need this ever needs to ever happen again. So there are going to be some safeguards in place. But it's going to be a slow process because we have to do things through policy. And
so then you've got to pass policy changes.
We've got to make policy changes, and that doesn't happen overnight. But I do believe, and I thank the good people at our transportation department and just our drivers, everyone, it was all hands on deck. They all stepped up. And to all the drivers that have doubled up on their routes and are making sure that our kids get to and from school safely, I say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Only maybe a blip on the screen in terms of disruption. I saw where there were maybe 300 students the first day, but we're dealing with flu, so there's no way to tell
it's hard to tell whose parents kept them home because their kids weren't feeling good.
Right.
So, I really feel like in the mass thing, when you've got 52,000 students and you're dealing with, now affected initially, it was like 4,000 or 5,000 students. And unfortunately, a lot of them were in the north area. But like I said, we had illness too, so it was hard to tell. But I do believe in the end, we came through it with as good a job as you could.
So going forward, what was it, 2 that night and 4 the next meeting?
The next day.
So that's 6. What's
35 more down.
Well, yeah. What's being done for that? Or are we just filling the gaps at this point?
We have to until they're able to come to us. And trust me, there are good drivers out there that are trying to get all their paperwork together and get their ducks in a row so they can come forward to the board, prove to us that they do have insurance, they are covered, and they are driving, or they either own their own bus or they are leasing from someone else. So,
but the contractor that had these 40 buses
is no longer
a part or a contractor.
No longer.
So that's going to, even if he was subleasing, that's still going to affect, tens of buses, right?
But they're buses that have been parked, yes. A lot of his buses are parked because they can no longer sublease from him as well. So,
well, I know that's been, even with that big of an issue, I mean, this news was coming out on Sunday afternoon, and I got to thinking, well, if we knew that this happened on Friday, people have been working all weekend to try to figure out things.
They absolutely were working all weekend long, and like I said, I commend our transportation department, and I commend our drivers that do things the right way, that stepped up to say, hey, I'll help out. I'll take this route. And they may have to do that for a little bit longer until we can, permanently get this fixed, and hopefully it'll be sooner than later.
Yeah. So should we expect to see some more pop-up special called meetings at 3:30 on an afternoon to get more bus drivers in?
Never.
Possibly.
I would like to say never, but never say never.
You
just don't know. You have to be prepared, and we needed to get this done quickly.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it was a thing for sure. So, in the midst of all of that this week, we're working on a special project that hopefully in the months ahead we'll be able to talk about. But it's been interesting to be at the central office a couple of times, and just seeing what goes on, and here are meetings taking place here, and jet setting here and going there, and we've got to go here. And I saw a photo on Dr. Sullivan's Facebook page last night of presenting in Nashville to some folks, and they were school boards or superintendents, or what?
Yes.
What were they?
They were presenting to, I believe, TOS and the state. I am so proud of Dr.
TOS
Sullivan.
Would be school superintendents
School
group?
superintendents,
okay.
yes.
Okay.
And we are an exemplary district. If you didn't already know it, that just proves it. When you get asked to present to the state, to the entire state, about how we do things so well, from our academics to our finance to just the way we run things here in this county, we take what is given to us and we maximize it. We get the most out of what is given to us, and we have just flourished. And we are an example to other districts of how you can do things.
Yeah.
And so I was very proud to see our finance director, our assistant superintendent, Kay Martin, and Dr. Martin, and I was so proud to see Dr. Sullivan present and say, look, we've had challenges, COVID and such, but look what we've been able to accomplish, and this is how we've done it. Mm-hmm. So perhaps other districts can take that and run with it as well.
I saw Kay in the photo too, and then I remembered, that meeting that was coming out as we were going in, she was there. It's like,
constantly.
You've got some really smart people at the top, helping to guide the system.
Absolutely, we have really, really good people at our central office to go along with our excellent staff at our schools, and they all work well together. I don't know of being a hometown girl. This is my county. I love Rutherford County. I don't know of a time where we have been this together as a district, and it's showing. We have really made the highest marks that I have ever seen in Rutherford County.
Yeah,
and just really proud of it. And I just want to make sure that we maintain this level of excellence.
Well, when you're at the top, there are also people who want to be at the top with you, and
exactly.
How do you get there? Or there are also people who don't want you at the top and they want to be at the top. So
it's harder to stay at the top than it is to get there. That's what I hear.
It certainly is. Claire Maxwell joining us today, Rutherford County School Board Chair. Let's see. What I guess you're in. It seems like you're always in budget talks.
Yes, budget is coming up. We have a retreat coming up in March.
Okay.
And we'll be knee-deep in budget, and our 5-year plan. Obviously, we still need a high school. And we've sent the information and the Lee Road property to the county commission. And I understand they've got pressure to build a jail. And I know that. But I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't really, really push for a school. And I'm optimistic we can get both. We're smart people. We know what we're doing here in this county. And the county commission has always come through for us. And I know that they will come through for us this time as well. So hopefully we can get the school approved in May in this budget cycle. And we can hopefully have a school up and running by 2029.
Okay, so that would be, you mentioned Lee Road, so that's up in the Smyrna-Blackman area?
It's on the other side of the interstate on I-24. It's above Stewart's Creek and across I-24. Laverne's on this side, on the right side. If you're headed towards Nashville, and it's on the left-hand side, it's above Rocky Fork and that area. And it's a good piece of property. It's a large piece of property. It actually could be a 3-school complex, but what we need the most is a high school right now because the Stewart's Creek, Blackman area, Rockvale, that whole corridor is just not stopping.
So that property has been identified. Mm-hmm. The first step, obviously, is to purchase said property.
Yes, and that's what we're waiting to just make sure that can happen.
Okay, so that's the first step from the county commission is to say, let's move forward with purchase.
Yes.
Then it's the battle of, can we build that
how
and
much,
a jail, and how much?
Yeah, exactly. How much? We are looking at a smaller high school. Now, the footprint would be there if we needed to go back in maybe 10, 12 years later and expand if we need to. But we're looking at a smaller high school. We're looking maybe a 1,500 high school.
Now, you say if. You mean when, probably?
When.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But, I mean, obviously, whatever you build, you can add on to, or you have to build another
Exactly.
if it's as big as you could make it. I mean, that's just what we're in right now.
But we do know, we recognize that there are a lot of parents that would rather have a smaller school versus a 2,500 school. So
what would this be, 1,500, 1,800, somewhere in there?
About 1,500, yeah.
Okay.
Kind of more like the old Riverdale and Oakland when we were growing up. It was like 1,200, I think, to 1,500. So that's what we're kind of thinking about because, I hate to say it, this will be the first high school we built since 2019, I think, when
That's
Rockville
when
came
Rockville
along.
opened. Mm-hmm.
But it won't be the last. We're going to have another one. The company that we brought in, which is really, really smart, and they know what they're doing, they've identified the Christiana, Rockville area as another area. So, we're probably 5 years after that, I'd like to get another high school up and running. And
interesting that you mentioned Rockville because I think that puts it in perspective. I want to go back to what you said a second ago, is that this is preparation being made to hopefully get a school open by 2029. And the last high school opened in 2019. So that's 10 years.
Yeah.
And how much growth have we seen in 10 years?
Tremendous. And I don't see any signs of it really slowing down. This year's was kind of a blip. It was, but next year, all those COVID kids the COVID babies that are going to be going to kindergarten.
Yeah. Well, there have been some numbers thrown around that, we're actually seeing people have fewer children. And so there will be less children that we have to educate. And we're actually seeing those numbers go down. In fact, you mentioned that blip. So you hear those things and it sounds like, well, maybe we don't need to build.
And I'll tell you who's moving here. They're not moving here because they got a job here. They're not moving here. They're not really young. They're people with children. A lot of them have children who are already in like middle school or high school, and they're moving here for our quality of life and because of our schools. We have excellent public schools. And these families are moving from all over the place, from other parts of Tennessee to outside of the state. And that's what they want. They want this. So I don't see it slowing down. The projections were that we would get over the next 10 years, 100,000 more people.
Where are we going to put them?
Where are we going to put them?
and the kids that go along with it.
And if we're not prepared, we're going to we'll be caught real flat-footed. And no one likes portables. I don't want more portables.
Well, I'm just thinking you've built these additions at, let's take Riverdale and Oakland, for instance, and Smyrna. That was on property that you had portables on. So where are you going to put portables? Eventually you're going to run out of room to put portables on a school complex because there's no room left.
There's no room left. Yeah, exactly. So, but like I said, I'm optimistic that we can work something out. The county commission, they've been great. They've been great to us, and we've been able to do quite a bit in a short span of time when we really were shut down and couldn't do anything for like 3 or 4 years. Well,
and I think it's also important to note that I think you could probably build a school a year from here on out.
Oh yeah, you absolutely could. Now,
so all you're talking about is trying to make dents and chop away as best you can, but there's still going to be overcrowding.
Oh yeah. We can't stay ahead of this as well as I would like, because in a perfect world, we would start 3 high schools. We really would. But the reason why we're as large as we are at some of our larger high schools was because the money weren't there for what we wanted to do,
But the money, you had enough money that you could add on and make them bigger schools.
Additions were a cheaper option, more economical option to building at that time. So,
would you say that it might be a fair statement that what it costs to do additions would be about the cost of a new school total? But you did it at 3 schools.
Yeah, we did it at 3 schools.
And,
we were able to do
Laverne too.
Yeah, because the new high school we've heard of could be anywhere from 100 and I think The one they did out in Bellevue area, Nashville, was $145 million. Now, it's a $1,200 or $1,500 person high school. It's not as big as some of our large ones. So take that as, it could be anywhere close to, $180 million. Wow. Whereas a middle school, when we bought Poplar Hill, was, I think, 69, something like that, which was how much, not quite what an addition was, but it was a little bit more than that. But yeah, so we were able to put additions at 3 schools for what a new high school would be at the time.
And it's a fraction of the cost what you built Rockvale for a few years ago,
exactly.
which was higher than what you built Stewart's Creek. I mean, it's go all the way back.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm proud of the additions. They were beautiful. I get people that stop me all the time and say that was the right move to make, and I said I know it was, and because I'm very proud of all of our high schools. I mean, and our middle schools as well. We set the example, I think, for the rest of the state on how to do things.
Well, Claire, we could talk for hours. I appreciate you coming up here and updating us on things. I hope maybe a slower weekend. I'm sure your phone was blowing up all last weekend.
I would like to have a calm weekend. Yeah. That would be great.
A little calmer weekend for you. Thanks for coming in today.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Absolutely. Claire Maxwell joining us today, the chair of the Rutherford County School Board. If you missed any part of our conversation, we invite you to check the podcast. It'll be up shortly at WGNSradio.com. Until next time, take care out there.